Clearly, BMW thought that our current crop of crossovers and SUVs were not large enough, so it made the 2019 X7 goddamn massive. This is it. Meet it. See it. When it launches, the 2019 X7 will come in one of two trims, X-Drive 40i or X-Drive 50i. All-wheel drive is standard on both, as is an 8-speed automatic transmission. The transmission uses a navigation system to determine the optimal gear for whatever lies ahead. The base X-Drive 40i wields a 3-liter, I6, turbocharged gas engine. It'll put down 335 horsepower and 330 pound-feet of torque, and all that torque is available from 1,500 to 5,200 revolutions per minute. It'll hit 60 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds, which is pretty sprightly for a car of its size. If you want all the power, though, opt for the X-Drive 50i. This one packs a retuned version of BMW's 4.4-liter, twin-turbocharged gas V8, which is good for 456 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque, the latter of which is available from 1,500 to 4,750 revolutions per minute. The 0 to 60 time drops to 5.2 seconds. The 12.3-inch infotainment screen offers touch capability, in addition to a standard controller with haptic feedback on the center console. It offers a wide variety of connected services, including parking and traffic information, as well as concierge services. 6 USB ports are standard, including some Type-C connectors. Combine the system with the BMW Connected app, and you can push appointments and directions from your smart device to the car. A Wi-Fi hotspot is standard, as is wireless device charging. It's always a good day when Porsche decides to GTSify one of its models. Today, Porsche has announced that the Panamera is next on the list with the introduction of the Porsche Panamera GTS and GTS Sport Turbo. In the 2019 Panamera GTS line, we're looking at a 4-liter twin-turbo V8 engine that can produce an impressive 453 horsepower and 457 pounds-feet of torque. Compare that to the previous Panamera GTS, which had a naturally aspirated engine, which had 13 less horsepower and 73 pounds-feet less of torque. Not a half-bad improvement. That extra boost means both the Panamera GTS and GTS Sport Turismo can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds, maxing out at 181 and 179 miles per hour, respectively. The interior gets matching black Alcantara and anodized aluminum accents. There's also a heated sports steering wheel wrapped in Alcantara trim that'll make your hands sweat just thinking about it. Prices start at $129,350 for the GTS and $135,550 for the GTS Sport Turismo, and the models are expected to arrive at dealerships by the middle of next year. The 7th generation BMW 3 Series has a clear objective, to once again be the benchmark by which all other luxury, sport sedans are measured. BMW will initially offer the 2019 3 Series in 330i and 330i X-Drive guises, the former with rear-wheel drive, the latter sending power to all 4 wheels. Power comes from a 2-liter turbocharged i4 engine, with 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque, gains of 7 and 37, respectively, over the 2018 model. This is essentially a reworked version of the 2-liter engine found in the last generation 3 Series, and it's a smooth, refined power plant. BMW says the rear-drive 330i will be able to hit 60 miles per hour in 5.6 seconds, which is actually 1/10 of a second slower than its predecessor, though still respectably quick. More powerful M340i and M340i X-Drive models will arrive next spring, with a new 6-cylinder inline gasoline engine, according to BMW's statement. My best guess is a massaged version of the 3-liter turbo i6 BMW uses in its other 40i badged cars, and the automaker says this new engine will produce 382 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, healthy increases over the 320 horsepower and 330 pound-feet offered by today's 340i sedan. BMW also says this new M340i should be capable of sprinting to 60 miles per hour in about 4.2 seconds. Moving inside, the 3 Series interior design is, again, familiar. The optional 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster from the new X5 is found here, as are bits of metal brightwork on the dash and digital readouts for the climate control temperature. The trunk's a bit bigger now, able to accommodate 17 cubic feet of cargo. And hey, you can even order the 3 Series with a glass roof. The standard version of the car is called i30 Fastback, and now Hyundai has added the i30 Fastback N version. The i30 Fastback N shares a mechanical package with the Golf GTI rivaling i30 N hatchback sold overseas, as well as the Veloster N hatchback that we receive here. We're talking a 2-liter turbocharged inline-4 driving the front wheels via a 6-speed manual. The i30 Fastback N's numbers are nothing to sneeze at, however. Just like the i30N, the i30 Fastback N's powertrain offers 2 states of tune, 246 horsepower in standard guise and 271 horsepower with an available performance package. Our Veloster N comes with a 275 horsepower rating only. Buyers of the standard i30 Fastback N can look forward 0 to 62 miles per hour acceleration in 6.4 seconds, while the buyers of i30 Fastback N's equipped with the performance package will be able to hit 62 miles per hour 0.3 seconds faster. The top speed of both is governed to 155 miles per hour. Development of the i30 Fastback N, like most Hyundai products these days, included extensive testing on a variety of road types and racetracks, including at the Nürburgring, where Hyundai has operated its own technical center for several years. The latter was key in honing the various modes that make up the vehicle's driving mode selector, which Hyundai N calls Grim Control. The hot Audi S Q2 has officially been revealed at the 2018 Paris Motor Show. If these output numbers ring a bell, it's because the SQ2 borrows the S3's turbocharged 2-liter gasoline engine. In the feisty crossover, the TFSI unit is good enough to enable a sprint from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 4.8 seconds in a top speed electronically governed at 155 miles per hour. As you'd come to expect from an S-badged Audi, the 4-cylinder mill sends its power to all 4 wheels, with the Quattro system being linked to a dual-clutch, 7-speed S-tronic gearbox. Equipped with either 18 or 19-inch wheels, the new Audi S Q2 rides 0.8 inches lower than the lesser models thanks to a stiffer sports suspension, making the petite crossover more agile around the corners. Being the range-topping model, it makes perfect sense the vehicle has been fitted with a more generous array of standard equipment, including LED headlights and taillights. This is actually the second Project Black S Infiniti has shown. The first car, unveiled at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show, was a design study, but Infiniti claims this second car has some actual engineering behind it. The Project Black S is based on the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport 400, and uses that model's 3-liter twin turbocharged V6. Infiniti and the Renault race team modified the powertrain to incorporate a hybrid system that, as in an F1 car, gets electricity from 2 sources. A motor generator unit kinetic harvests energy from braking, similar to the regenerative braking systems in production hybrids and all-electric cars. That electricity is stored in a 4.4 kWh lithium-ion battery pack and can be used in 2 ways. It can spool up the turbochargers to make the gasoline engine more responsive, or power an electric motor that works with the V6 to turn the rear wheels. The hybrid system adds about 440 pounds, according to Infiniti, so a diet that included replacing the stock steel hood, trunk lid, fenders, and roof with carbon fiber pieces was instituted to counteract that. Having a lot of extra power helps too. The hybrid system adds 163 horsepower to the V6's output, for a total of 563 horsepower. Infiniti estimates the Project Black S will do 0 to 62 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. This is the 2020 Mercedes-Benz EQC, the very first fully electric crossover from Mercedes. And it looks pretty damn close to the concept. Stylish but still slightly gaudy, as a good Mercedes should be. The EQC has 2 electric motors at the front and rear axles, which give the car combined 402 horsepower and 564 pounds-feet of torque. Mercedes says that the two drivetrains are configured differently. The front is for efficiency in the low to medium load range and the rear is for sportiness. It has a top speed of an electronically limited 112 miles per hour and an estimated 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 4.9 seconds. In terms of charging, the EQC comes with a water-cooled onboard charger with a 7.4 kilowatt capacity, which means owners can fast charge it at home or at public charging stations. Mercedes claims that, depending on the car's status of charge, the battery can be charged from 10 to 80% in around 40 minutes. The inside of the car will also be extremely quiet. The power packs are insulated by rubber mounts at 2 points, where they connect with the subframe and where the subframe connects with the body. That should be enough to reduce extraneous noise in the cabin. After seeing lots of spy shots of its development, the 2020 Mercedes-Benz GLE class is finally here. For now, the only model that Mercedes offers powertrain details about is the GLE 454matic with a mild hybrid 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine. It produces 362 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque, and the electric motor can add an extra boost of 21 horsepower and 184 pounds-feet. The mill hooks up to a 9-speed automatic gearbox. The company confirms that a plug-in hybrid and turbo diesel, among other engines, join the powertrain range later, though. The GLE is available with Mercedes' latest driving assistance aids, including a system that could make dealing with traffic a whole lot easier. For example, the newly available Active Distance Assist Distronic system keeps track of the live traffic monitoring, and if it detects stop-and-go traffic ahead, then the vehicle slows down to about 62 miles per hour as a precaution. At this speed, the onboard sensors can react quickly enough to slow down if traffic suddenly stops ahead of you. Inside, new GLE class gets the company's latest MUX infotainment system that features a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster next to an infotainment screen that's the same size. Buyers can also get an optional head-up display that's twice the size and 20% brighter than the previous version. For a comfier ride, Mercedes offers an available optional energizing system for the front seats that makes minute tweaks to the seat cushion and backrest to adjust to occupants' changes in body posture. After months of seeing the 2019 Audi e-tron in flashy camouflage, the company has finally revealed the all-electric crossover in bare painted sheet metal. And go figure, it sure looks like an Audi. Under the fairly conservative skin is a much more radical powertrain. The e-tron uses 2 electric motors, one large one for the rear, and a small one for the front wheels. The company has previously estimated output at 355 horsepower and 414 pound-feet of torque in normal mode, output that can be produced for 60 seconds straight. There's also an overboost function that can operate for up to 8 seconds that brings power up to 402 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque. That latter number allows the car to hit 60 miles per hour in 5.5 seconds on the way to a top speed of 124 miles per hour. The e-tron also can tow up to 4,000 pounds when equipped with the optional towing package. Depending on load, the e-tron can drive using just the rear motor, and the front motor starts to power the front wheels when more power is demanded, or when driving conditions demand additional traction. In the floor between the motors is the battery pack, and at launch it will only be available in a 95 kilowatt-hour form. Final EPA-rated range hasn't been released yet, but the WLTP rating for range is 248 miles. Audi says the e-tron will also support 150 kilowatt DC fast charging, which will allow it to regain 80% of its range in 30 minutes. All e-trons additionally come with a home charger that can support charging via 120-volt or 240-volt electrical outlets and 1,000 kilowatt-hours of electricity from Electrify America charging stations. Audi says there will be 500 stations built or under construction by July 20, 19. Unveiled at the 2018 Paris Motor Show, the Kodiak RS is powered by a diesel engine and it's the quickest 7-seat SUV around the Nürburgring track as of October 20, 18. Initial rumors claimed the Skoda will drop a diesel engine in the RS. Granted, It's a bit ludicrous to mix a performance badge with an oil burner, but as it turns out, it's exactly what Skoda was planning all along. The RS arrived with a diesel mill and not a beefed-up version of the 2-liter 4-cylinder gas engine of the range-topping Kodiak model. Already available in 2 flavors, the 2-liter turbodiesel was further upgraded for a bit more oomph. The oil burner now cranks out 237 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of twist. That's an extra 49 horsepower and 74 pound-feet over the most powerful diesel Kodiak available right now. So what about performance? Well, the Kodiak RS isn't very quick from 0 to 62, needing 7 seconds to get there. It's not painfully slow either though. The SUV reaches its top speed at 136 miles per hour. Skoda also added adaptive dynamic chassis control with driving mode select. This enables you to optimally adjust the springs and shock absorbers to suit the terrain and driving style. 6 modes are available: Eco, Comfort, Normal, Sport, Individual and Snow.